In the rapidly evolving world of smartphones, the line between dream devices and reality continues to blur. Every year, we see brands push boundaries, chase perfection, and dare to redefine what's possible in a palm-sized package. But every once in a while, a phone comes along that doesn't just push the envelope, it rewrites it entirely. That's exactly what Oppo has done with its latest flagship, the Find X8 Ultra. What if you could build your ideal smartphone? No compromises, no budget constraints, no limitations of physics. Well, almost. You'd likely piece together the ultimate display from one phone, cameras from another, the most powerful processor available, and a battery that lasts for days. Add a futuristic design, elite charging speeds, bleeding-edge connectivity, and just for fun, a few features that no one saw coming. Welcome to the Oppo Find X8 Ultra. Let's dive deep and unpack why this phone is a genuine marvel of modern engineering and why it's arguably the most impressive Android flagship of 2025, even if you can't buy it in the US. The ultimate spec sheet come to life. Imagine building your ideal smartphone in 2025. What do you start with? Most would begin with the best chip available. Oppo picked the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 Elite Edition, a next-gen processor designed not just for speed, but also for efficiency and advanced AI computation. Coupled with a staggering 16 gigabytes of RAM and up to 1 terabyte of ultra-fast UFS 4.1 storage, you're looking at a performance powerhouse. That's just the foundation. Now layer in a 6,100 mAh battery, made possible by revolutionary silicon-carbon chemistry. These batteries not only hold more charge in the same physical space, but also support extreme fast charging speeds, 100W wired, 50W wireless, and reverse wireless charging too. This isn't just a spec sheet. It's the dream. Design, subtle but sophisticated. At first glance, the Find X8 Ultra might not scream ultra flagship. In fact, it leans into a restrained aesthetic. The design philosophy here is less flamboyant, more refined, a flat-edged slab with a slight curve in all the right places. It looks familiar, maybe even minimal, but hold it in your hand and you'll feel the precision. Despite housing one of the largest batteries ever seen in a modern flagship, the device feels deceptively slim. The use of a silicon-carbon battery enables this engineering feat, proving that Oppo isn't just playing the numbers game. They're delivering meaningful innovation under the hood. Display, a visual masterpiece. Flip the phone over and prepare to be mesmerized. The Find X8 Ultra features one of the most stunning smartphone displays ever crafted, a 6.8-inch 1440p AMOLED panel with a 120Hz LTPO refresh rate, 2160Hz PWM dimming, and 2500 nits of peak HDR brightness. This screen doesn't just look good in marketing slides, it's jaw-dropping in the real world. Whether you're binging 4K HDR videos, gaming at ultra settings, or just doom-scrolling through apps, the visuals remain fluid, vibrant, and razor-sharp. The ultra-thin bezels and a microscopic punch-hole selfie camera elevate the experience further. Biometrics? A lightning-fast ultrasonic in-display fingerprint scanner has you covered. This screen sets a new bar, and few others come close. Camera system. DSLR-level ambition. Let's not beat around the bush. This is the most over-engineered camera system ever put on a phone. And I say that as a compliment. The rear camera array includes a 1-inch primary sensor, 50MP, OIS, f/1.8. A 50MP 3x telephoto with a sensor 300% larger than its competition. A 50MP 6x telephoto, outperforming the iPhone and Samsung's latest zoom cameras. A 50MP ultra-wide with minimal distortion and high dynamic range. A dedicated chroma sensor for color accuracy and white balance. If that sounds absurd, it's because it is. But in the best way possible. This isn't just marketing hype either. The results speak for themselves. In testing, the primary sensor captured shots with a creamy depth of field, unmatched low-light clarity, and rapid autofocus. The larger telephoto lenses soaked in light, preserving clarity and reducing noise even in suboptimal lighting conditions. The ultra-wide held its own, and the chroma sensor did a stellar job balancing hues in challenging mixed light environments. Zoom and macro, smart choices. Unlike the usual compromise-laden macro modes on modern phones, the Find X8 Ultra smartly routes macro photography through its 3x telephoto lens. This lets you stay at a natural distance from your subject while still capturing intricate detail. No awkward nose-touching the leaf close-ups needed. Zooming is equally impressive, stretching all the way up to 120x. Sure, the extreme end is mostly digital and processed, but with AI enhancements and optical stabilization, reading distant text or capturing objects at a distance is surprisingly functional. Front camera and video. Creator-grade tools. On the front, Oppo didn't skimp. A 32MP selfie camera with autofocus sits elegantly within a tiny punch hole. It performs remarkably well in varying lighting conditions, with skin tones and textures that look natural, not overprocessed. Video is where things get wild. The Snapdragon 8 Elite unlocks a suite of pro-grade video capabilities, 4K at 120 frames per second, Dolby Vision HDR recording, and improved stabilization even when switching between the 1x and 3x lenses. In fact, the footage quality is so good, the plan is to shoot an entire review on this very phone. Yes, even the audio is crisp enough to keep up. Connectivity, storage, and features galore. The Find X8 Ultra isn't just about photography and design. This thing is loaded. IP68 and IP69 water resistance. Yes, it can handle a hot water jet. Wi-Fi 7 support for next-gen connectivity. Dual SIM capability. NFC and infrared blaster. Yes, you can control TVs. 16 GB of LPDDR5X RAM. 1 TB UFS 4.1 storage. Blazing fast. And it wouldn't be an Oppo flagship without a little playful mimicry. Yes, there's a shortcut button that looks suspiciously like Apple's action button. And yes, there's a touch-sensitive side rail for zooming in and out of the camera, just like the new iPhones. These features aren't just gimmicks, they're functional and surprisingly polished, even if a little shameless in execution. ColorOS, familiar yet feature-packed. Running atop Android is ColorOS 15, Oppo's custom interface. While it's clean, snappy, and full of useful features, it's also clearly influenced by iOS. From the split control center to the lock screen layout, the dynamic island-style UI elements, and even the camera app's design, it's very Apple-esque. After all, if you're going to borrow ideas, you might as well borrow the good ones. And Oppo does add its own flavor, like deeper customization options, more granular control over animations, and system-wide performance tuning. But in regions like India, China, and parts of Europe where hardware dominates the smartphone conversation over ecosystem, the Find X8 Ultra is going to make waves. Price and value. As of this writing, there's no confirmed price for the X8 Ultra. But if we go by the Find X8 Pro's pricing at around $800, this Ultra model will likely hover near the $999 to $1,199 range. The Find X8 Ultra is the smartphone equivalent of a concept car that actually hit production. It's beautiful, brutal, and brilliant. The bar hasn't just been set, it's been raised sky high. Stay tuned to TechScope for more in-depth reviews, speed tests, and real-world comparisons. If you love tech, you won't want to miss what we're working on next.